Hey everyone, Zero Creature here. Today I was streaming and I got an interesting question. And someone was asking me what they should be doing if they're upgrading the storage. So here's going to be a short little video of my suggestion for if you need to upgrade storage and how to manage it. I know there's already a bunch of videos on YouTube about this stuff, but I felt like I should make my own. So with storage in Pokemon Go, there are two main types of storage. Pokemon storage and item storage. Now, obviously, with items, this is all the different stuff you can hold. Obviously, there's other things, but this is like the main stuff you're going to be holding, right? Healing items, Pokeballs, berries, uh, Star Piece incense, lucky eggs, rare candies, incubators, I think count. Actually, I don't think they count. Premium raid passes, lures, TMs, and your evolutionary items. Pokemon storage is obviously just Pokemon, right? That's all it is. Now, obviously, to upgrade them, you're going to want to go into the shop, scroll down, and you find the item bag storage, or the item bag storage upgrade, and the Pokemon storage upgrade. Now, for 200 coins, you get to increase either one by 50. You start out, I think, 300 or 350. The question is, what do you do with this storage? Now, with Pokemon storage, it's not very difficult to maintain. The thing with Pokemon storage, you need to know what's useful. There's several different ways to go about this. I would say, number one, join my Discord server and ask me what you should transfer. Mandatory plug out of the way. Go on YouTube and just search up, what you should be powering up. Pokedaxy, one of the best Pokemon Go YouTubers ever, if not the best. Go watch his videos. He makes a bunch talking about like what you should be powering up, what you shouldn't be powering up. Even just search it up on Google, like look at infographics and stuff for raids, look at stuff for PvP, look if it's any good in PvP. Now, what kind of Pokemon do you want to keep, even if they're useful? Well, 3-star Pokemon are a good way to start. How do you know if a Pokemon is a 3-star? Well, you go into your Pokemon, tap on, for example, Grubbin, right? The 3 arrows at the bottom. So that is like right here, right? This little button right here, you tap on that, and then you click Appraise. Tap again, and it will show you its rating, right? So this is a 0-star. The stats in the bottom range from 0 to 15. When the bar is red, that means it's 15, right? So let me show you an example. For example, this Passimian is 15, 15, 15. This is perfect. The little the little like the badge icon or whatever goes from yellow to red. That's how you know everything is perfect. Each IV is perfect. A Nundo is when everything is 0. The little badge does not turn like gray or anything. It's still yellow. But a Nundo is very rare. You want to keep Nundos and Hundos. Nundos are useless pretty much. They are only like for the rarity. But Hundos are the best IVs of a Pokemon. What are IVs? Well, IVs are basically the Pokemon's base stats, and you add whatever the IV is onto a Pokemon's base stat. So, for example, we're going to use Mewtwo, right? This Mewtwo has 14 attack IVs, right? You can tell because it's just barely away from 15. Mewtwo has a base attack stat of 300. 300 plus the 14 attack IVs, this Mewtwo effectively has a base attack, or this Mewtwo effectively has an attack stat of 314. You want to keep good IV Pokemon. So, for example, stuff like, this, right? You want to have those high up bars, have a couple of them be red, maybe like 1 or 2 of them. Like, this guy's pretty solid. This guy's pretty solid. This guy's pretty solid. This guy's pretty solid. If you need to prioritize a stat, you always want to prioritize attack, right? If you have to choose between like 2 or whatever, prioritize the one with higher attack. Attack is the stat that matters the most in raids. However, this is not always the case. These are PvP Pokemon. So, for example, Great League, Ultra League, Master League. And how do you access that? Well, those are in the battle menu, right? Down in here, you'll see Great League, Ultra League, Master League. With Master League, you want your hundo IVs, your perfect IVs, 15, 15, 15. You want the good IVs, the same you'll be using for raid Pokemon. However, for Ultra League and Great League, you want these lower IV Pokemon. Well, not lower IV, they are lower IV, but specifically lower attack. You see the thing with all these guys, they have low attack, high defense, high HP. Why is this? Well, with PvP, you want to prioritize bulk. In Great League and Ultra League, a Pokemon will usually have a maximum CP far above the CP limit of those leagues. The IVs influence how high a Pokemon's CP is. So, if you have lower IVs, your Pokemon will max out lower, right? Every Pokemon at 15, 15, 15, or the Hundo IV, which is what I will continue to refer to it as, has a maximum CP of whatever. However, when you start lowering those IVs, the maximum CP starts dropping. You see this mainly in attack, because for basically one attack IV is equal to 2 defense or 2 HP IVs. So when you lower attack, that's going to impact the maximum CP more than lowering the defense or HP by the exact same amount. And by lowering attack, you get to keep your defense and HP higher up, meaning you get that bulk, which is very crucial in surviving fast moves and charge moves in PvP. For more PvP details, I would highly suggest watching a different video about it. This is just supposed to glance over it as to why you should be keeping them. So, low attack, high defense, high HP, keep those guys. Now, personally, I also will keep Shadow 2-star Pokemon, especially if the attack is good. As you can tell, right, this isn't perfect IVs, but Shadow Pokemon get a 20% boost to their attack and 20% decrease in their defense. However, that defense decrease, that's negligible. You prefer the attack increase, which makes these Pokemon so much better than their non-Shadow counterparts for raids. For example, the Shadow Mamoswine, it's much stronger than a Hundo normal Mamoswine because it has a 20% extra attack. Remember, a 0/0/0 Shadow Pokemon will almost always, well actually, it will always be better than their normal 15/15/15 counterpart, or the Hundo. A Nundo Shadow Pokemon is always better than a non-Shadow Pokemon that is a Hundo of the exact same species. Now, what other Pokemon should you be keeping? Obviously, shiny Pokemon, you want to keep them. They are very rare. I would say if you are very good at the game, like level 50, right? Max your Pokemon storage, and I mean like max, and the max is like 7,000 plus, right? If you've maxed your Pokemon storage and somehow you're just running out, good place to start, transferring duplicate shiny Pokemon. You have so many you don't need. However, if you are lower level, do not transfer shiny Pokemon. You have no need to, right? Also, obviously, you want to keep 3 stars, right? You want to keep these good IV Pokemon. Obviously, though, right, you don't want to keep, like, a Rattata. If it's a Hundo, you know, keep it. If it's not, you don't need to. But you see this guy as a hat. Well, let's talk about costume Pokemon. Now, costume Pokemon, they are rare because they have an extra little flair to them. I would say keep at least 2 of each costume Pokemon you get. Unless you know that it's going to come back guaranteed, you want to have 1 for yourself and maybe 1 to trade off, right? And if it has an evolutionary form, cool. Keep 2 of each evolution, right? So like, for example, Bunnery, right? Keep 2 of these and then keep 2 of the Lopunny. Another thing, legendaries. Now, you do not need to keep every legendary Pokemon you find. For example, all these Zamazenta, I do not need to keep them. Zamazenta is not useful, really. Again, I would search up what Pokemon are useful before transferring. Eventually, you'll start to get the hang of what's useful and what's not. But as you're starting out, it is definitely a good place to start by just searching it up and getting help, getting assistance, and you don't want to accidentally transfer something good. Aside from that, there's not an insane amount of things that you want to be keeping. Mega Pokemon are another thing that you will want to keep just because of the utility, right? They give you extra candies, they boost other Pokemon's types in raids, um, and just extra XL candy chance. That's always nice. And then aside from that, there's not really a whole lot. Obviously, mythical Pokemon, you also want to keep those. Um, Special background Pokemon, that's another one. So, as you can see, these guys have special backgrounds that other Pokemon do not have. The reason why these Pokemon have these backgrounds is because they're from different events and whatever that give them these special backgrounds. You want to keep these. Usually they're pretty rare. Let's talk about lucky Pokemon. You don't need to keep every lucky Pokemon. If it's a useless Pokemon, something like, again, Rattata, right? You don't need to keep it, right? But if it's something kind of good like Gyarados, which is good in Master League, right? Decent as a water type attacker, right? Stuff like these guys, you want to hold on to, especially because they have the cost of powering up. So even though they might not be as good as Shadow Pokemon, they're always a good place to start because of how cheap they are in terms of Stardust. Aside from that, there's not really much else to keep for these Pokemon. Obviously, I would even say if you get a good Pokemon that is a useful Pokemon and it's a 2-star, even lower IVs, I would still hold on to, even 0 or 1-star. If it's a good Pokemon and you're starting out and you need it, keep it. That's my best suggestion. Let's move on to items. With items, the main things you want to keep a hold of are healing items and Pokeballs. Those are like the main things that you really need. With healing items, you want to keep these 4. Hyper Potions, Max Potions, Revives, and Max Revives. If you're finding that you're getting a lot of Potions and Super Potions and it's clogging up your item storage, delete them. You don't need them. Unless you seriously are low on Hyper Potions and Max Potions, you do not need Potions or Super Potions. With Pokeballs, you want to prioritize Great and Ultra Balls. If you need to ever delete Pokeballs, which I would never suggest, delete Pokeballs. However, if you really do need to delete Pokeballs or you need to clear up item storage, go outside, catch some Pokemon. With berries, I would say these 3 are the main ones you want to keep a hold of, although having normal raspberries aren't a bad idea either, especially if you struggle with catching Pokemon sometimes. However, they can get pretty clogged, and I would not suggest keeping nano berries. Incense, Star Piece, Lucky Egg, keep all of these. Do not ever delete them. If you need to get rid of some, use them, right? You don't want to waste premium items. The same thing goes for raid passes, right? All these. Rare candies, rare candy XLs. Never transfer rare candy XLs. Never transfer rare candies. If you need to get rid of them, use them on a Pokemon. Use them on legendaries, Pokemon that are difficult to get candies for, or maybe a Pokemon that you personally like. Maybe it's not the most difficult to get candies for, but these Pokemon, maybe you just need that extra little push to get them to level 40 or something like that, get that double move. So that's what you want to keep a hold of rare candies for. Also, don't transfer like mysterious components or rocket radars. Just use them up. Same with Poffins. Lure modules, I would say you can delete them. Like, obviously it's better to use them, but if you aren't finding that you use them at all, or like if you would never be out to use them, I mean, I would probably just use them anyways because it can work towards the picnicker, 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 picnicker. I I'm definitely saying that wrong. Picnicker. Yes. Okay. Um, you can use the lure module to help any trainer catch 500 or 2,500 Pokemon. This is a medal. I would suggest just like, even if you're out at Pokestop and you need to use lure modules, just go ahead and use them. Fast and Charge TMs, you aren't always going to use these. For specifically for fast and charge TMs, I like to keep around 50 for fast or like 70 for fast and like 150 for charge. If you need to delete some, go ahead. Stick with what you're comfortable with. I would say 30 fast and 60 charge is a good place to start if you even have that much. Obviously, if you're starting out, just hold on to them. Don't delete them. Elite fast TMs and elite charge TMs, never delete them. Doesn't matter if they're taking up storage. Do not delete them. They are premium items. They're very difficult to get. Do not delete them. For evolution items, I would say keep 5 of each, right? I would say maybe for Sinnoh Stone, keep 7. Unova Stone, keep 7, right? But aside from that, keep 5 of each. It's a very good principle. Dragon Scale upgrades, I would even say keep 3 of each. Like, keep 3 Dragon Scale, 3 upgrades. You don't really need them that badly. I would say hold on to them, but it's not that difficult. So what do you get rid of? Well, kind of what I already said, right? Get rid of what you really don't need. If I tend to delete a lot of hyper potions because I get so many from raids. I try to keep around 100 for my healing items. And especially if you don't do a lot of raids and stuff, you could find yourself being at a deficit for healing items. If that is you, make sure you keep your numbers up when possible. Again, healing items and Pokeballs, I would say, are the 2 most important things, right? Pokeballs, right, you want to just keep these, right? If you need to use them, go out, catch Pokemon. That's my best advice. And I think that's about it for advice. So, to recap, what Pokemon do you want to keep? What Pokemon do you want to keep? So this is going to be for useful Pokemon, right? Useful 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, which is the Hundo. You want to keep useful legendary Pokemon. You want to keep useful shadow Pokemon. And useful does not only apply to raids. Make sure to check if they are good in PvP. If they are not good in raids, they could be good in PvP. For an example, Galarian Stunfisk, horrible in raids, amazing in PvP. Make sure you know what you're deleting before you delete it, because you don't want to delete something and end up regretting it. My final piece of advice, always appraise. Never delete something before appraising it, because you want to know what you're deleting. Are you deleting something good, or is it hot garbage? Anyways, that's going to wrap it up for today's video. I'm going to catch this Tangela real quick while I do my outro. Thank you all so much for watching, especially if you watched this far. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe, and let me know if you enjoy this kind of content. I want to start doing more information videos like this, and if this helped you at all, please let me know in the comment section down below. Join the Discord. I'm always available to help, or I try to be, if I'm not at school or something. But please join the Discord server. Ping me if you need to, or there should be a help section. Maybe. I might need to add one. But send me a ping. Look up stuff on YouTube, Google. Remember, it is not bad to need assistance. I need assistance all the time. That's how I'm good at the game. That's all for the video. Like and subscribe. Turn on notifications so you never miss another video. Join the Discord server. Send me a hey. If you need any help, please let me know. Or search on YouTube, Google, whatever. And that's about it. See you guys. I hope this video helped.